Right, so we want to evaluate this expression. And of course, the natural idea is to use grid paper or squared paper, because 1, a half, a third are rational numbers, and we can actually draw these angles on a grid paper. Right, so here is my grid, and each of these squares has side length 1. So if I have a line that goes from here all the way to here, I end up constructing a triangle with sides of length 1 and another side of length 3. So this angle here is arctan of 1/3. Now I also have this angle, arctan of 1/2, and I want to draw it in a different direction so that my angles do not overlap. And of course, it's going to be this angle. So this angle will be arctan of 1/2, and this angle in between is unknown. Is it actually arctan of 1? Well, if we want to understand it, what we can note is that if we connect these 2 points with a green line, you notice that this green side and this red side on the left are of the same length because they are diagonals in a 1/2 rectangle. So it's an isosceles triangle, and these angles are equal. But another thing that you can see is that the length of this green line is √5, because this guy has side length 2, this guy has length 1, so the diagonal is √5. Same for this guy. And this line on the bottom is a diagonal in a 1/3 rectangle, so it has length √10. So now we recognize that this triangle satisfies Pythagorean theorem because square of 1 plus square of another is equal to 10, which is √10 squared. So what we know is that here it's a right angle and it's an isosceles triangle, so these angles must be pi/4, right? Each of them is 45 degrees, but this is exactly arctan of 1. So what we now see is that this angle here is arctan of 1/3. This angle here is arctan of 1/2. An angle in between them, we proved, is arctan of 1. But they form exactly 90 degrees. So the answer is pi/2. You can only learn maths if you do maths, so after seeing this example, I want you to prove the following identity, that 2 arctan of 1/3 plus arctan of 1/7 is pi/4. And another identity that I want you to prove is that arctan of 1/2 plus arctan of 1/5 plus arctan of 1/8 is also pi/4. And again, the idea here is to use the grid paper in a smart way.